based on those core beliefs of being a modern day warrior.
Moving on with the action and entry back in the case first. Into the red corner. Make some noise for George Young.
Here we go for our next bout of the evening here at Battle Arena at Wolverhampton in the Hangar. What an incredible venue this is, Steve.
Very cool. I'd like to open a gym here to go with the bar. Now you're talking about not drinking and not smoking there, Chris, and like how this is a positive lifestyle for everyone. Let's see what's up in this bout.
Into the blue corner. Make some noise for Rustam, Rafiev.
We got an interesting story here now. George Young comes in as a late replacement for a frontline fighter. Whether it was the virus of unknown origin that caused this problem, we don't know, but this is a lightweight fight, and it's going to be George Young against Rustam Rafiev, who's 1-2 at the moment. George Young looking to make his debut here tonight, maybe shake up the lightweight division.
And we saw Rustam fight before, and he didn't seem very confident in his striking at all.
In the red corner, weight 70 kilos, representing Gracie Darby. Make some noise for George Young. And to the moment the fights are in the blue corner, weight 70.5 kilograms. Representing Hauser Combat Club, make some noise for Rustam, Rafiev. The other French judges, Stu Davis.
So we saw Rustam fight before, Stephen. He looked last time out. He really struggled with the striking, but was very aggressive with his takedowns, looking for hip throws,
and had a head like a freaking anvil.
Yeah, has he been working on that striking is the question. Already looking better, I think. Oh, that takedown that he wanted early.
Yeah, he catches off of a kick. Now he's hitting to the body already.
But is it wise taking down someone that's got a Gracie Barra Jiu-Jitsu shorts on?
Might have found him at Value Village.
This is true.
You know?
Could George Young be effective off his back here? He's already got that overwrap. That can be quite useful. He's looking for a triangle, Steve.
Yeah,
I mean,
checking
it's fairly obvious, but I don't know if Rustam spotted it. He's trying to push that arm between his legs, and he's going to be able to choke him with his legs. Rustam's too aware, I think, or his corner has made him aware.
Head right in the middle.
Nice slam.
Ooh, watch out. Almost like Rustam almost came down hard on his own arm.
Yeah, sometimes with those guard slams as well. You get a clash of heads. George Young trying to be effective off his back, getting the angles, throwing up that triangle again, Steve. Oh, the armbar was close.
Oh, very close.
A beautiful jiu-jitsu by George Young.
Just waiting for his opportunity. A la UFC 1 over here.
Yeah, Rustam, I mean, the whole like lifting him up and dropping him 2 or 3 feet, that's going to be so tiring on Rustam and do very little damage, in my opinion, to George Young. It's not an efficient use of his energy. George making space, trying to use his jiu-jitsu from the bottom. So what George wants is an angle. He wants to maybe put his feet on the hip, angle off, and when he gets an angle, he can start attacking for submissions. It's very hard when you're straight on like that.
Yeah, and that's what Rustam's trying to do, keep his head in the middle of George Young's chest, and that kind of stifles the submissions.
What does Rustam have to do to improve position here, Steve?
Well, I say head on the chest, but now he's kind of doing the right thing. He's looking to pressure forward, but a good thing to do is keep the head under the chin and tripod up from there and just push your head down through the jaw of your opponent and then start looking to get a leg stepped over, as Rustam has done right now. So he's got the underhook. He can't quite get to that half guard position. The issue, though, is that even though he's bothering George Young right here, he's spending a lot of energy in those pass attempts. Whereas George is sitting back, he's keeping it clamped on the left side, and he's looking constantly for his own attacks. And he definitely has Rustam shook, if you will, about those attacks.
George throwing up another submission. I mean,
following the hips, though.
He's going to get slammed again. This is 4 or 5 submissions from the bottom.
A lot of energy in those lifts and slams. A lot of pressure on lower back.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, Steve, I just don't know if it's an efficient use of his energy. I'd much rather see him try and pass. Oh, he's in trouble here.
Oh, that's deep. That's deep.
Just slamming out of it.
And now he uses it to pass. I used to use that myself, Chris. The old almost get my arm broken and then pass.
It works. George with the body squeeze from the bottom. Not my favorite technique. It might tap people in the gym, but at this level of competition, people just...
If you catch that floating rib, man.
It does hurt.
Big time.
Good round for both fighters.
We've got wrestler versus jiu-jitsu player here, or as they say, jiu-jitsuro. So,
well, we know that Team Rustam, they do like to get those takedowns, the Counter Combat Club. Rustam and his dad, they love it's just a takedown club. Seems to be their thing.
Exactly, trying to come forward, trying to get those takedowns and do damage from top. But you've got to open things up a bit more, and I would almost rather see him keep it standing a bit more and just test the waters a bit, because you can get the takedown and you can do a lot of damage against the fence, as we saw in the last fight where, you know,
a lot of damage happened against the fence. You're right, Steve. Now what Rustam needs to do is be more effective with his passing. They did a good job of staying safe. I mean, we saw that George Young was very dynamic off the bottom, throwing up submissions. That arm was close. Did a good job of slamming out of it. It's not unusual. Think about lifting someone up. You're also giving them space to hyperextend on the arm. But generally, what you want to do is someone's trying to lift you up. You want to hold their arm with one of your arms and then their leg with the other arm. So then effectively they can't lift their own leg off the floor as they try and slam you. And then you're going to be able to finish the submission. But it doesn't mean you're also then only holding the arm with one arm. Here we go, round 2. Rustam Rafiev versus George Young. Well, Rustam straight away with a takedown.
Maybe look to pass off a takedown, but watch Young lock him back up. Now we're in that position again.
We're straight back to the triangle again. It's so close to getting it that time.
Really was. He needs to let...
Oh, and again and again.
He can let Rustam kind of start punching from that side. Keep it locked and let him do that until he gets lazy with it. He's got a foot on the hip now. He's really digging that angle now. George Young is doing quite well here. You don't have to be the most imposing physical specimen to be quite effective at jiu-jitsu. Right, Chris?
I'm 6'5".
You are massive, actually. Just, you know.
I'm an imposing physical specimen.
Got abs to the ceiling,
well,
as they say. Don't worry.
I'm the George Young school of jiu-jitsu. Just let them tire themselves out and then tap them.
Ooh.
But so what he's looking for, Steve, is trying to get a triangle choke, or an armbar like this.
Again, deep, deep, deep.
Slammed out again. That's going to be physically exhausting for Rustam. He's going to have to keep lifting him.
There is a small solution to this, isn't there?
Grab the leg.
Yeah, underhooks the leg, yeah.
Yep. He's going to go for it again, Steve. He's trying to angle off again. Oh, they grabbed the leg that time.
Oh, he hurt us.
Fixed it.
Oh. I love that. I love that.
listening to his corner, getting that coaching, changing the little details. Oh, Rustam tried to go for a weird throw.
Oh, there we go.
George taking the back.
Gets another hook in. Let's see him flatten him out, stretch him out, possibly go for the finish here. Oh, Rustam doing really well to turn in, but we got a body triangle.
So body triangle's got the foot across, and now he's bringing that foot under the knee. That'll put a lot of pressure on the lower abdomen of Rustam Rafiev, and also make it incredibly hard for him to escape. So George Young can just lay here and throw those heavy shots to the side of his head.
We've got a minute. I think there was a bit of a warning there about gripping the glove.
Well, this is the problem with this position compared to a pro MMA fight, Steve. These big gloves, you know, it adds safety, but it also means it's difficult to dig under the chin. That's why I embrace the same theory you do. Anything below the eyes is a choke. Just put the choke and crank the face. I pretty much do that to my friends, so in a fight I don't mind.
Yeah. That's how you know who your friends are. Real, you know.
Do they crank your face?
Real friends crank your nose, right? They try to give you that.
George Young digging those shots from the back. Oh, the side of the head. He's doing a very good job of hitting the side, staying within the rules, because you can't hit the back of the head. Because if you could, George Young would have finished this fight by now.
Been Dunsky, bro. There's also some chin grips and things like that he could possibly go for with his left hand, but he's really stretching him out. Look at this contortion.
This is some of the worst back escaping you will see in British MMA right here. But good back control from George Young. What Rustam needs to do is kick his left leg forward, just take the hook off, and then bring it back underneath that leg, and he'll give you that little bit of hip movement, and you start sliding out. But it's a really hard back position to escape the body triangle. You've never got it, Steve, because you don't have the legs for it. But us that can do a body triangle.
Certainly don't, man.
I put
on my trousers today, and they were a bit tight, man. Couldn't believe it. All right, so I think we've got a round apiece here.
Well, it's all to play for in round 3 then. How exciting.
Oh, the tiebreaker. Right. Because this isn't like football, folks. We don't get to draw, and if we do, it's a real disappointment. So, here we go. 3rd round, all to play for. We've got the wrestler versus the submission fighter. We've got heavy ground and pound versus slick back takes and armbar attempts up the wazoo.
I'm making a strong prediction that they will hit the floor within the first 10 seconds.
10 seconds. All right, folks. Do we have a bet here? We've got the bet going.
I'm going to count. You commentate, and I'm just going to count over the top.
You got it. You count the 10 seconds, despite the fact that we have a clock there for the people. We've got Ben Young is fired up here. Coming in on late notice and still putting up one heck of a fight. Ladies and gentlemen, please watch the clock in the upper right-hand quarter.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no!
Oh no! They're standing up.
6, 7.
Just to prove Chris
8,
wrong.
9, 9.5.
9 3/4. This 10 seconds is lasting a long time, Chris. But we actually end up 20 seconds into the 3rd round, and we got Rafiev, spitting forward, leading with his head, trying to sprint on and catch up with his punches.
Oh, this is interesting. Clearly, both fighters decided to, they're not sure they can beat each other on the ground. Felt like they both had the advantage in the striking. I would say that George looks way more composed on the feet. Rustam is punching and falling and turning away. Does have power though. Nice kick
to
George.
the head. A big right hand lands for Rafiev. Let's try something different. I think Rafiev must be shook about the ground game of Young. Young was really difficult.
Yeah, he's
there.
dangerous.
Young showing a bit of inexperience here on the feet, though. He's circling off to his right-hand side, which is the power side of Rafiev's left hand.
Saying that Rustam does keep switching stance. I can't figure out if he's right-handed but like standing that way because he's a wrestler.
Possibly.
Lovely
big
shot.
Lands.
Young looking sharp on the inside.
Ooh,
nice body shot from Rustam.
To the body from Rustam, and now that's got Young shooting in. He's a bit too high now to finish that high crotch position.
So I don't think Rustam is that good on the floor, but I was about to say, but he seems good at wrestling, but maybe not. Young hurls him to the mat.
Young as well, just looking to smother right now as we're entering the final minute of this lightweight fight.
Steve. He's locking himself in half guard, even though he's on top.
He could literally just stand up and bring that knee across.
Yeah. But he wants to just hold him here because he knows it's going to win the round. It's pretty close on the feet. He got the takedown. He's on top.
Oh, now he's got that knee coming through into quarter guard. Can he posture up and
He's going to
possibly
look for a finish, Steve. He's isolating the arm. He was trying to get a triangle again, I think, from the top.
He's got a...
It's going to be interesting. Can Rustam do anything to get this round back in the judge's eyes? With 30 seconds to go.
And stave off those attacks of George Young.
Yeah, I think the judges have got to score quite heavily for Young, even though he's on the bottom, but he's the one being aggressive. And the slams are always defensively. He's not, he's not attacking. It's not an aggressive move. It's because he's about to be armbarred. Young trying to get the arm again. I'm just willing him to get it now, Steve.
Yeah, final 10 seconds. Really hard to finish somebody in 10 seconds.
To a Kimura. Rustam, wild strikes over there. Double ear slaps from Young. Brilliant fight.
Yep, brilliant. Back and forth. A real exhibition of different grappling styles. The top pressure of Rafiev meets the slick submission skills off the back of George Young. And we know what the Gracie Baja team thinks. They've got George Young's hand already raised. We're going to have to go to the judges for the decision here. I'm going to let Chris carry this for a moment. I'll be right back to check on our next fight.
Steve is off. Getting the inside scoop on our next fight coming up this evening.
So after 3 rounds of action, we move towards judges' scorecard for a decision. All 3 judges have it for your winner, for the fighter in the red corner, George Young. And please make some noise for Rustam.
Rustam is very unhappy about the decision, but fundamentally the goal of this game is damage. And George Young was trying to break the arm of Rustam Rafiev. He threw up 10 or so arm bars from the bottom, and at the same time Rustam wasn't being very effective from the top. He was lifting him and dropping him, but not doing any damage, not being very threatening from that position. So it was hard to score it for him.